All right, it's Monday. Hope everybody had a lovely weekend. My truck's still in the shop. Hopefully it's back on Wednesday. Joys of running your own show. And like I said, it was a weird thing. I just shifted gears weird, funny, when it was really, really, really cold. Brought it home that night, put a heater underneath it, kept it plugged in, of course, kept it running. And it worked fine until 4 or 5 days went by, and then it just wouldn't go into gear anymore. So nobody has an answer of what's going on with it. It's in if there is a marvel of technology, it's transmissions. You see that thing of discs and springs, and anyway, it's a fascinating piece of equipment. I don't even know how they came up with it, but it's mind-boggling. And it's in the hand of the experts. The true experts, not the pharmaceutical experts that have been bought and paid for. Many of them have. And that's today's rant, actually. There is not a single day that goes by, I don't know about your life, but in mine, where someone either can't do their job, can't show up for work, are incapable of contributing to society in any way because they've come down with COVID. And I am not a COVID denier. COVID is real. It absolutely is a thing. But it's been established now, 2 years after the fact, that it's a man-made virus that was released from the Wuhan laboratory in China. You can send me all the hate that you want, but it's come out in congressional hearings that there's no way that this was a man-made thing. It didn't come from some bat soup, which was the narrative to begin with. And it's also come out that somehow the patent for the vaccine came out, was approved for like 6 months prior to the actual virus hitting the market. How does that happen? Like, I have some pretty good predictive, this is going to happen. In fact, like I said, with those boilers that we replaced, I told them, you got 6 months left on these bad boys, and then they're done. And true to form, within 6 months and 3 days, those things went down. And I sent them the email saying, this is the date I sent it. I told you I have 6 months. So it's true. If you are involved and an expert in your field, then you can, do some predictive programming. But to have a vaccine ready for a virus that has yet to come out, and the fact that Pfizer's stock, which was in the toilet prior to this, because they had paid out so many lawsuits for bad medical practices, their stock went up by about 8 billion %. And they used all that money to buy their politicians, buy their doctors, and sell the lie that COVID was going to kill us all. And I am not by any stretch of the imagination anti-vaccine. I've had them all. I've had my tetanus shots, all that sort of stuff. The one thing that sort of sent all the red flags and prevented me from doing anything further until I did some digging was the whole effing mask thing. As a basically journeyman plumber, a master plumber that has spent 40 years in this trade, and have all my tickets for confined space and hazardous waste and hazardous materials and hazardous environments. I mean, it goes into minute detail of what mask you need to wear and why, and what environments, and what it protects you from and what it doesn't protect you from, on and on and on and on. And these quacks tried to sell the world on frickin' N95 masks will protect you from the virus. And when that sort of lost its veracity, it went to water droplets. I've talked to a lot of people in my life. I don't ever being spit on by anybody during the course of the conversation. So the fact that there are still, they're still pushing the vaccines everywhere, as far as I know, they are here. There are people that are wearing masks every single day still, thinking that it's protecting them somehow. And I'm sure it's the same in your neck of the woods. There isn't a day go by that somebody's out of work or can't do their job because they've got COVID. And the fact that nobody, we're not holding these people accountable, and that life has sort of just decided to go on, is just, my favorite word, bananas to me. Bananas. That this is just allowed. Oh, yeah, well, and as I'm sure most of you know, they're preparing for the next one called Disease X, whatever the hell that means. They're working on the vaccine for that. And when you ask them questions or you dig into it, what exactly are you preparing for? Well, a very serious and deadly virus. Oh, okay. Do you know how it works? No. Do you know what does it affect the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the intestines, the brain? What? We don't know. Okay. But you got a vaccine for it already. Right? You realize we don't have a cure for the common cold. We're just told to deal with it, which is sort of where we need to be with COVID. Great. Take a couple days off, have some chicken soup, go to bed early, sleep in a bit, gather your senses, and you'll be fine. I have never had COVID, ever. Why? Because I've never been tested for COVID. Does that mean I haven't woke up one day and said, man, I feel like crap? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a half day today. Or I'm, going to try and go to bed earlier. Or maybe I won't work out today. That's just, I think that the world, those pharmaceutical companies, have sold the world on a fantastic lie. It is interesting. This is totally off the beaten path, but of interest to me. And this is my thought, not yours, so that's just how that works. Did you know that biblically, the word for sorcery, sort of related to poison and evil magic, the Greek translation of that is pharmakia, or pharma. It's clearly not a direct correlation to the two, but if you look up the words for poisonous sorcery or evil magic and ask, do the Google Translate, it'll give you the word pharmakia. So I thought that was interesting. Take of that what you will. I do think that, like I said it before, I don't think the end is coming. The end of the world is not coming, but there are changes coming. There are absolutely changes coming. I was talking to a few people about what's happening down in Texas, with 25 states siding with Texas. A bunch of others have, either non-declared or sided with the federal government. There's been talk of succeeding from the Confederacy here in Alberta or in Canada, because the federal government is no longer serving the interests of the common people there. I think you see that everywhere. They are more focused on tiny minorities and advocating for them, which I don't disagree with. But that should, sure, have some programs to help those minorities deal with whatever they got to deal with. But that should not be your main focus. Your main focus and your main drive and your policies should reflect the views of the majority of your constituents. And I don't think that's the case anymore. Certainly it's not from a federal view. I don't think it is. You see it in the States. You see it here in Canada. You're seeing it. Look what's happening in Germany and France and Poland. There's some shit going down. And it's not on any news channel because they don't want you to know it, I think. Why would you not report that? Because it's a bad look for them, I think. Anyway, that's it. Have an excellent day. My thoughts, not yours. Be safe out there. As always, the only thing you can really do is influence the people that you love and are concerned for. That's it.